Welcome back, aspirants, on MacTech 40. And as per the announcement, from today, we are going to start solving the questions of GATE exam. Okay. And Monday to Thursday, GATE exam questions. Okay. And today, we will start with theory of machines. And today, we will solve GATE 2020 questions. And the subject is theory of machine. So let's start. And all this, and today we will solve three questions, okay, of theory of machine. And these are very conceptual. If you are clear with your fundamental, then and only you can solve. Otherwise it will take some time. You can solve, but it will take some time. If you are conceptually clear, then you can solve in within a few seconds. Okay, so let's start with first question. A 4-bar mechanism is shown below. It is PQRS, the 4-bar, and here PS is fixed link. Okay, for the mechanism to be crank rocker mechanism, the length of link PQ, we have to find the length of this link. Okay, so for any successful constraint, any successful mechanism, 4-bar mechanism, it must be satisfy first Grashoff's law. If it doesn't satisfy Grashoff's law, then this mechanism would not be generated. And what is their meaning? Crank and rocker. Here the crank means the shortest link will rotate one full revolution. Okay, suppose this link will rotate one full revolution, and rocker means one of the links. Suppose this link, RS link, will not complete rotate, but it will oscillate with some displacement like this, while one link is full revolution. So to make that mechanism, and this is the PS length, is link is fixed, okay, with 400 mm link length. So to make this, so first of all, Grashof law says that for the link one revolution, because here crank rocker mechanism, that means one link should move one complete revolution. So as per Grashof's law, for one complete revolution of the shortest length, the length of longest plus shortest link should not be more than the remaining two, like M or N. Okay, I'm telling you, this is the Grashof law for the complete revolution of shortest link. Okay, and here crank rocker mechanism, as you can crank mechanism, crank rocker mechanism, and rocker mechanism. Okay, these are three types of mechanism. When crank mechanism will occur, then when the shortest link is fixed link. Okay, it is fixed link, then we get crank mechanism. Crank rocker means when the link adjacent to the shortest link, like the link number 2 or any the which is in between these two, M or N, then we will get crank rocker mechanism. And our rocker mechanism, that means the coupler link, or you can say that the longest link, or you can say that parallel to the fixed link, or not, sorry, not parallel to fixed link, but you can say that coupler. Like if this is a 4-bar mechanism, like this is the shortest link, this is the longest, and this is M, and this is N. So if you fix the shortest link, then you will get crank mechanism. If you fix this M or N, so you will get crank rocker mechanism. Okay, and if you fix this L, or you can say that this is known as coupler link. So when you fix this, so then you will get rocker, that means both this link, the adjacent link corresponding to this fixed link, these two will oscillate like this, like pendulum. Okay, so this is known as rocker mechanism. So here in our question, crank rocker mechanism asked, that means the adjacent to the shortest link, that means this is the shortest link, so adjacent, that means M link should be fixed. So in question, yes, one of the link is fixed, and to satisfy Grashoff's law, and the longest link is 600 mm, it is given. Okay, so longest plus shortest link, that means 600 mm longest link plus shortest link should not be, sum of this should not be greater than remaining two, and the remaining two dimension is 400 mm and 300 mm. That means 400 mm and 300 mm. So this is 700 mm. Now this is shortest link we have to find. This is 600. So to make this condition valid, the s should be minimum and s should be below 100. Then and only you can satisfy. And this is here m link. This is the 400 mm link. This is pq link, ps link, which is fixed. This is m link and it is satisfy our condition. So that's why we can say that crank rocker mechanism. So to satisfy this equation, our Grashoff's equation, the shortest link dimension should be less than 100. Okay, you got it? So look at the options. The option A is only 100 mm below the 100 mm. So this is the answer. Okay, so this is how you have to use the logic and the definition. Here the concept used is definition plus logic. The second question is, sorry, yes, okay, yes, okay, now okay. The question is, a helical gear with 20-degree pressure angle and 30-degree helix angle. Okay, so helix angle alpha, pressure angle phi. It is mounted on the mid span of the shaft and it is supported between the two bearings at the end. The nature of stress induced in the shaft is, so first of all we have to draw the given condition. So this is the shaft. Okay, and it is supported by two bearings. Suppose this is the bearing. Okay, when you draw in 3D it will look like this, and there is a gear mounted between here in the mid span, and angles are at helical angle, and the angle is 30-degree. Now pressure angle is what? The angle, the angle of the force with respect to tooth direction. Okay, tooth, this angle at which the force is acting. Okay, so this is the pressure angle and this is the helix angle of the teeth along with the axis of the shaft. Okay, and the pressure angle is the angle of the force between the tooth axis or perpendicular to the tooth and the force direction. Okay, so in 3D when you see this, the force is acting at some angle. Okay, so now it has two component, F vertical and F horizontal. Two components are there like this. In 3D when you draw F vertical and F horizontal. Okay, so this vertical component, if you consider only vertical component, and this is the bearing, so this vertical component will produce axial stress in y direction. I am writing coordinates here, y, x. Okay, so in y direction it will produce, that means axial stress in one direction till now. Now this horizontal force, it is acting at the radius, at the tip of the tooth. Okay, and at this tip of the tooth, at it is radius r, gear radius now take as r, so force into radius, it will generate a torque. Okay, so there is a torsional force also. Now due to this 30-degree helix angle, there is an axial thrust. Okay, and to compensate that, we are generally providing another helical gear with opposite hand. It is known as herringbone, but here it is not given that. So only due to this 30-degree angle, so there is a component of this normal force acting on the tooth. It has some axial thrust force also, which is acting at the center. It will like this. So this will also cause due to some buckling. This is not major, but it has value is less compared to this vertical force, but it will cause buckling effect, okay, if the shaft is too long. So there is another deflection in x direction, so there are basically two deflection. Okay, so normal stress due to bending in two planes, yes, due to bending, and shear stress due to torsion. Okay, so this is the correct. I'm explained you why. Okay, hope you guys understand this. Next question, this is very conceptual among all. The question is, a balanced rigid disk, a balanced rigid disk and balanced, underline the word, on a rigid rotor. It has a four identical point masses, each of 10 gram. That means mass is given. It is attached to the 4 points at the 100 mm radius. This radius is 100 mm. So from the center, it's like a hub on the shaft. As shown in figure, the rotor is driven by motor with a uniform angular velocity 10 radian per second. That means it is omega is given to us. If one of the mass gets detached from the magnitude detached, then the magnitude of the resultant unbalanced force in the rotor is, okay. So first let me draw this. Okay, this is the, assume this is a circle, and here are the four masses, all are at 90 degree, so they are perfectly balanced. Okay, as written in the question, they are perfectly balanced and they are at radius 100 mm with center. Okay, and it is moving with angular velocity omega. Okay, now it is in perfect balance because they each other cancel each other when the centrifugal force, okay, suppose if it is rotating, so centrifugal force due to this mass is getting outward, and due to this mass here at F and F, so this will cancel the effect of centrifugal force of each other. So now what in question, given that one mass is detached, now assume I'm assuming this mass is detached. So now we have only three masses and still it is rotating, so there is unbalance. Okay, if there is a equilibrium, okay, like there is a weighing machine here, you have taken 2 kg, okay, 2 kg weight, dead weight, and corresponding to your, like you, if you are buying vegetables, so corresponding to 2 kg, okay. So when this become equal, it is in equilibrium. If you increase the weight here or decrease here or any side, so there is a disbalance and it will be some deflected. So here unbalanced force is generated, so and this is called fatigue stress, and this caused fatigue stress on the shaft. So what is the magnitude of that? So now let us assume that, not assume, just look at here. Okay, now mark this is a as a mass number 1, mass number 2, mass number 3, and mass number 4. These are perfectly balanced and these are rotating at omega velocity, omega 10 radian per second. Now at time t is equal to 0, that means before the starting they are in this position. Now at t is equal to, after, let us guess, 10 second. Okay, so the location of masses are some at some different angle. It will be like this because it is rotating, okay, in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, I am taking anti-clockwise direction, so rotating. So now the new position of mass 1 is here, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, and 4 dash here. Okay, again if you draw the force balance, that is only one force acting here is centrifugal force. Okay, because in the horizontal they are in horizontal force and plane, and all are the one plane, so centrifugal force, and the line of action of both the force, like centrifugal force of third mass and centrifugal force of first mass is same, again the same line of action and in opposite direction, so they will cancel out each other. Okay, now in the question it is given that one of the mass is removed. Now I am removing this mass number 4. Okay, what happened now? There is only 3, and again still it is rotating. So let us assume at t is equal to 20 seconds, it is rotated again, and now they are in this position. This is 1 double dash, 2 double dash, and 3 double dash. Okay, again if you draw the force balance, there is a centrifugal force outward side, so centrifugal force for one and centrifugal force of third mass, so they again cancel out each other, so there is no effect due to unbalance. So only one force that is not balanced by any other force is the centrifugal force of the second mass. Okay, so this is the amount of unbalance. So unbalanced force is centrifugal force of the second mass, because what earlier there is a fourth mass here on the same line of action and the opposite direction, so it is cancelling out the effect of centrifugal force. Okay, but here fourth mass is removed. So what is the centrifugal force? Mr omega square, as you learned in your 11th standard. Okay, so what is the mass? So again I am writing here, unbalanced force is equal to centrifugal force of the second mass is equal to mr omega square. M is what? 10 gram, so convert into kg by dividing 1000. Radius is given 100 mm, again convert into meters in standard unit, because in question it is answered in asked in Newton. Okay, and omega square, that means 10 radian. Omega angular speed is given 10 radian per second, so 10 square, just cancel out 10 square and this will go cancel. So we have remaining 1 by 10, that means 0.1 Newton. So this is the answer of our question, that is 0.1 Newton. It is unbalanced force. Okay, and we have to round off up to 2 decimal place, but here second decimal place is not, so our answer will be 0.1 Newton. Hope you guys understand this. Okay, if you have still any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Okay, as well as on Facebook, I have provided the link in description. So today we will meet with another videos of the gate. Till then, keep studying, stay focused.